The views and opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect the policies and the position of Now You Know.
Good evening and welcome to Viewpoint. Together with experts and newsmakers, we'll make sense of the week's biggest issues and stories. I'm Barnaby Lowe in tonight's conversation.
Tensions filled the burial of 3-month-old River Nasino on Friday, as more than 40 police officers and jail personnel, some in full battle gear, took charge. They refused to uncuff the mother, Reyna May Ina Nasino, who was also made to wear a hazmat suit. At one point, they sped off with River's remains, leaving behind the grieving family. The security arrangement was criticized for being excessive, but authorities say she was a high-profile, high-risk inmate who needed to be guarded heavily. Ina worked for the urban poor organization Kadamay and was among dozens of activists arrested after a series of police raids last year. She gave birth to River while in detention, but was separated from the infant after 3 weeks. Courts would later deny requests made by Ina's legal counsels to let her see her child. Human rights groups say River's death, along with the government's handling of Ina's case, has revealed how justice in the Philippines favors only the rich and powerful.
All right, welcome once again to Viewpoint. My name is Barnaby Lowe. You are watching us on the Facebook page of Now You Know. Tonight, we will be talking about the case of Reyna May Ina Nasino and her baby who unfortunately passed away, baby River. And of course, we were all witness to the events the past few days, and what a long week, not just for the family of Ina Nasino, but I think for the national audience that was watching all the events unfold the last few days. And I think it's been a really long week, especially for our two guests here. So we thank them. We appreciate their time. Our first guest live with us via Skype is Reyna May Nasino's legal counsel, Attorney Maria Sol Taule. Good evening,
Hi,
Attorney.
good evening. Good evening, Barnes, and good evening to all the viewers of Now You Know.
Thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome.
And joining Attorney Sol is the spokesperson of Kapatid, Families and Friends of Political Prisoners, Ms. Fides Lim. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Magandang gabi sa lahat. It's a pleasure to be here to be able to explain our side.
Yes, thank you so much, Ms. Fides. Sobrang thank you sa oras ninyo kasi talagang I know pagod na kayo with everything that we have witnessed that has happened the last few days during the entire week. So we really appreciate that you're here with us. Now, I want to start with statements that have been released by government officials and spokespeople yesterday. And I want to get your reaction to these statements because I'm not sure if you've been able to properly react to these statements. I'm sure nagpahinga po kayo ng medyo mahaba-haba from last night to today. So there are several statements here coming from the BJMP and coming from the DILG as well as the police. Isa-isahin ko po kung okay lang sa inyo.
Sure.
So first, okay. Ang sabi nila, kaya sila hindi daw overkill yung naging security arrangement because Ina Nasino is a high-profile, high-risk inmate. And I'll quote, nakuhanan siya ng granada. Ito from BJMP spokesperson Xavier Solda. Nakuhanan siya ng granada. Anong gagawin namin? Tatayo lang ba kami? So, I mean, what is your reaction to that? Maybe we'll start with Attorney Sol.
Una si Mr. Solda, no, magaling din kasi maghabi ng kwento, kaya lang di nga kagalingan. Maghabi ng kwento itong PNP and BJMP. Una sa lahat, wala si Miss Reyna May Nasino sa kulungan kung hindi nila tinaniman ng granada at ng mga firearms noong November 5, 2019. Yan ang dahilan why she is in detention, no? At yan din ang dahilan kung bakit nineglect yung kanyang karapatan to proper prenatal care na nag-lead yan dito sa tragic event na pagkamatay ni Reyna May Nasino. So tandaan nila na merong presumption of innocence na tinatawag, and Reyna May's case is on trial along with her two companions. So yung kategorya nila na high risk, high profile PDL si Ina ay kategorya nila dahil sila din ang may kasalanan, sila yung nagtanim ng firearms and explosives dito sa mga kliyente namin. So sila ang takot sila sa sarili nilang multo, sila yung nagtanim, no? At saka, how can Reyna May escape? Sobrang dami nila kahapon. Paano hindi naging overkill yon? Sobrang dami nila and sobrang sinungaling nila because their lawyer, nung hearing namin ng motion for the furlough ni Ina, they said na wala silang enough personnel to guard Ina. Pero nung October 14, no, nung nakapunta si Ina sa wake ng kanyang anak, they deployed more than 40 armed personnel, no, high-powered pa yung kanilang mga dala-dala doon sa wake, at they did not even give time for Ina to mourn in peace. Talagang ginulo pa nila mismo yung lamay, at yung natitirang oras na binigay sa kanya ng korte ay gusto pa nilang bawasan, no? They forcibly snatched Reyna May sa harap ng mga journalists. So napaka-sinungaling nitong, masasabi ko, nuknukan sila ng sinungaling itong mga taga-PNP and BJMP.
Ms. Fides, sabi ng BJMP, hindi daw sila nagsisinungaling na konti lang yung personnel nila. Totoo daw na 6 lang daw yung personnel nila doon from the female dormitory. Buti na lang daw ay pinagbigyan sila ng PNP at inaugment yung personnel nila. What do you think about this explanation?
Actually, no, what interests me most, why are they so defensive about their answers? No, they are pushed against the wall because they are telling a lie. Nasabi na ni Sole, no, yung general context. Ito lang ang point. Saan ka nakakita? Isang wake, no? Marami kaming nilabas ng mga press statements which we hope would reach their ears. Simple lang, meron kang patay, sanggol, baby, 3 months old. No one ever expected what would happen. In fact, no, yung mga nag-organize, no, ng wake, no, we left everything, no, with trust doon sa funeraria na merong karo, tapos yung karo pupunta dito. Look, kung meron kang patay, hindi ba? Karapatan mo kung saan mo gusto pumunta. What are the most significant places for the dead and for the family that they would like to go to? Ito nangyari. Sinabi ngayon, no, noong pamilya at saka noong support group nila, yung kapatid Metro Manila, they would like to go past the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeals. Why? Kasi merong mga kaso doon. It's just like, if someone dies, they would like to stop by a house where they grew up, which has memories for them. It so happens, no? It so happens na itong mga lugar na to, bad memories, but meaningful sa kanila kasi kumakapit pa rin sila sa pag-asa na merong mangyayari sa korte para sa kanila. Yun lang.
Pero nagsundo po ba na dadaan sa mga lugar na to at nagkagulatan nung biglang kumaripas yung, nag-speed off, tama? Kumaripas, tama ba yung Tagalog ko? nung nag-speed off yung mga police escorts, tapos yung hearse, yung nadala-dala yung remains ni Baby River. Kumbaga, lumabag ba sila sa kasunduan?
In the first place, no, walang kasunduan sa kanila. Why? Because ito ay burial at saka lahat ng arrangements, ang may karapatan dito, yung namatayan. Bakit? Di ba sila na mamatayan? No? Why should anybody consult them when they were already heavily guarding Reyna May, si Ina, and no one, even her family, could get to her. And they made such a spectacle of themselves by garbing her from head to toe. Take a look at the kapatid page. Tingnan nyo, no? Personally, I have no problem, no, with having Ina wear PPE kasi nakakatakot naman talaga how COVID strikes inside prisons. Right now, we don't even know. There's a news blackout, ilan na ang namamatay, ilan ang nagkakasakit. But look, paano nagkakasakit? Hindi ba dahil sa guards? Okay? Pero sa amin, grabe, yung handcuffs niya, kahit yung pare, doon sa mismong burial, humiling, tanggalin yung handcuffs para mayakap ni Ina. You could see her, nakaganito siya. Pagkatapos, she would cry, iiyak siya. Ngayon, kukuha siya ng tissue paper dahil nakagapo siya. Sabi ng kanyang lola, tingnan mo yan, magkadikit ang kamay. Paano ka makakaluha? It's so simple. They had no right to intervene. They had no right to do what they did. Tapos andun ako doon sa karo, di ngayon, in any funeral, you will see the family, ihahatid nila sa huling hantungan bago sila sumakay sa kanilang sariling kotse. Ano yung kanilang ginawa, We were all behind. Tapos, itong sina Marites Asis, yung mother, her hands were right behind the car. Tingnan nyo, ang sabi namin, pictures and videos don't lie. Ngayon, nagulat kami lahat, biglang humarurot, biglang nag-speed up yung sasakyan. Kaya yung family, na sila yung nasa una, they fell to the ground. Wow! Sabi nga namin, konti namang respeto, wala silang binigay sa amin. Bakit? Uulitin ko, hindi ba sila na mamatayan? Anong klaseng tao ang gagawa ng ganito sa kapwa-tao?
Attorney Scott, nakausap mo ba sila pagkatapos noon? Bakit daw sila bigla na lang nag-speed off? Bakit ayaw nilang tanggalin yung posas ni Ina? Ang sinasabi kasi nila, we're just following court orders. Pero kasama ba sa court order yon?
It's not part of the court order, no. Ang nakalagay lang sa court order, simple lang, yung court order. Ang nakalagay lang doon, Reyna May should be allowed to visit the wake and the burial of her daughter on October 14 from 1 to 4 p.m. and yesterday from 1 to 4 p.m. There was never, it was never mentioned there na bawal siya magpa-interview, na kung ano-ano. And in fact, humingi ng itinerary yung judge kung saan, paano yung plot nung funeral. And we gave the court the funeral. So we gave the court the itinerary of the funeral. So wala kaming obligasyon dito sa mga walang hiyang mga taga-BJMP na to at mga taga-PNP na to. Malinaw na ang usapan namin. So kung lahat ng sinasabi nila na wala sa rules, wala kaming doon kasi that's not even indicated in the court order. And in fact, sila yung lumabag doon sa court order when they forcibly whisk Reyna May away from the wake last October 14. Mm-hmm. I think Fides is going to add something.
Yeah. Tapos isa pa, nung dumating ako doon, I was in fact already late kasi dapat merong misa, merong ecumenical blessing, because
ayaw yung papasukin, di ba?
Yeah, pagkatapos, okay, nung umakyat ako, nakita ko, kasi dapat by 11, everybody would already start packing kasi kailangan sumunod na, kasi we were all worried, na hindi kami makakarating on time para salubungin si Reyna May dun sa North Cemetery. Tapos we were so surprised, sabi nung mga pulis, hindi, aalis dito ng 1 o'clock. Tapos ngayon, nung nag-uusap kami, very worried na ang family because we would not make it on time and we really already had the bad feeling na kahit yung bawat minuto na nakawin nila para sa pamilya, kay Reyna May, at saka para dun sa lahat. Pagkatapos, you know, what happened, nung bumaba kami, okay, I was already able to get in. Di ngayon, sabi ni Marites, payagan nyo yan, ninang yan, bakit nyo ayaw siya payagan? Tapos sabi sa akin dun sa baba, there should only be 30 people inside. But look, when I went up, there were not even 10 people among us, no? Tapos, tumakbo ngayon kami, no? Kasama yung nanay, si Marites. Tapos, dun sa harapan ng mga pulis, nagulat ako, lumuhod siya sa harapan. Tapos, nagmamakawa.
What was that about? Nakita ko po yung video na yun eh. I mean, sobrang heartbreaking po nun para sa, yung kailangan yung lumuhod at magmakaawa na maging maayos yung libing ng apo. Ako, I'm sorry, I'm not being biased here or anything, pero yung image na yun ng lola na lumuhod, na nagmamakaawa, kailangan ba yun? I mean, what was going on there?
Kasi, no, nung nasa taas kami, no, napansin namin, we had to tell, no, I had to tell itong mga sa funeraria mismo whom they had already intimidated, no, takot na yung mga tao sa loob ng funeraria. Kahit tanggalin yung mga bulaklak, ilagay sa karo, lahat. Tapos, when everything had already been removed, andun pa rin yung coffee ni Baby River. Pagkatapos, we were already so worried. Kaya ang ginawa namin, bumaba kami. Tapos, no, yung family, ako, tapos, this was the time, no, we went to the entrance, tapos pumunta kami dun sa garage kasi andun yung karo. Tapos, sinabi niya yun sa amin noong nakatayong pandun he was in camouflage uniform. They were all heavily armed. For what? Pagkatapos, sinabi niya na, hindi ba dadaan pa dito sa Pandacan Church? 1 o'clock? Wala pa eh. 1 o'clock, andun na si Reyna May dun sa North Cemetery. This was the time lumuhod si Marites Asi sa tapat ng police officer. Tapos sinabi niya, she was crying, tapos nagmamakaawa siya. Sinabi niya, mahalaga ang bawat minuto. Tapos ito pa yung sinasabi niya, hindi naman ginto yung tao. Ginto siya sa amin, pero hindi siya yung gold as in gold metal, hindi ba? No, hayaan niyo na kami. Tapos sinabi pa ni Marites, wala akong kinakalaban. Pagbigyan niyo kami. And you know what? Sabi niya yun noong police officer, okay, parang ganyan. You know, I felt so mad. I am not family. Tinatawag akong ninang. You know, I went to that police officer, tapos sinabi ko sa kanya, bakit? Sino ka ba? Pamilya ka ba na ikaw ang magsasabi dito sa sariling nanay na ito ang kanyang gustong gawin? Wala kayong pakialam. Dapat konting respeto na lang. Ganun ang nangyari.
Sol, was there a feeling na parang nananadya?
Oo naman. Hindi naman gaya nga nung basa namin sa lahat ng nangyari kahapon. It was an order that comes from someone higher, di ba? Kasi sabi namin sa level ng warden, it's so easy kung babae rin yung warden. I mean, gusto ko siyang bigyan ng benefit of the doubt na nanay din siya, babae din siya, alam niya yung pakiramdam. So I think kung sa level niya, hindi naman siguro it's not too much to ask na bigyan ng halaga ng posas, kahit sa panandalian lang, but hindi ganun yung nangyari eh. So obviously, meron tong kumpas ng mas mataas pa sa BJMP na pwedeng maaring DILG or even the president dahil nga galit na galit siya sa mga kagaya ni Reyna May na aktivista, and hindi yun secret sa publiko, it's public knowledge na may crackdown sa mga aktivista ngayon. Kaya isa tong malaking sabwatan simula nang mahuli si Reyna May, simula nung hindi payagan ng korte na magkasama yung mag-ina doon sa loob ng jail para mapa-breastfeed niya si Baby River. Isa itong malaking sabwatan nung ginulo nila yung burol hanggang sa libing. Lahat yun, plinano nilang lahat yun.
Ms. Pides?
Yeah. Alam nyo, Teme sa kapatid, no? We are a support group for families of political prisoners. Alam nyo, tama yung sinabi ni Marites, no? Although some of us not all of us, only a few of us, no, we have activist backgrounds only in the sense na, let's say ako, from UP days, okay, nag-activist ka, I'm a former political prisoner, my own husband is a political prisoner, no? Why? Tapos ito yung akin gustong i-point out, no? We are at the mercy of our jailers. We don't want to pick a fight. Okay, alam ng mga jailers namin yan. Okay, ito lang ang gusto kong sabihin. During Wednesday, no, it was very striking to me. Yung mismong CO, the commander of the police force, no, tapos sabi sa akin noong mga ibang mga pulis doon, pasensya na ma'am, sumusunod lang kami. Kung ano ang sabihin sa amin, kailangan kami sumunod. Pagkatapos, when I asked him, please naman, tanggalin mo yung handcuffs kasi hindi siya makakain. Because, no, yung mother niya gave her a plate of food, no? Merong pansit. Pansit is hard to eat. You have to eat it with a fork. Ngayon, hindi niya magawa. Ito ngayon si Marites, umiyak siya. Tapos sinabi niya dun sa kanyang ate, ikaw na, hindi ko kaya. Kaya ngayon, no, sinubuan siya ng pansit. Pagkatapos, ito this is important. Sabi ko ngayon doon sa CO, nakita mo, paano yan makakakain? Hindi ba? Payagan mo naman, alisin. You know what? He removed the handcuffs. I don't know what happened to him since because I read something, no, in the news reports na sinabi ng BJMP, they will make an investigation. What? They will discipline the people who even showed a little heart to remove the handcuffs during that time. Pagkatapos sinabi ko, ayun naman pala, kaya nyo naman palang alisin yung handcuffs. Di ang gagawin ni Reyna May for the next 3 hours, kakain siya para matanggal nyo ang handcuffs. Pero ngayon, ang nangyari, narinig ko to, Barnes, no? When I was outside, dun sa balcony, he was talking to someone. I heard the word pull out. Pull out. Ibig sabihin, ipupull out nila si Reyna May doon sa chapel. Pagkatapos,
and they did try. Yeah?
Yes.
Before 3 p.m. Yes.
Pagkatapos sabi ko, grabe kayo, ipupull out nyo, pero merong court order, dagut kayo. Anyway, si Sol was there inside the room. Ganun ang nangyari.
So, Attorney Sol, I want to ask, because Ms. Fides, she's been mentioning several times political prisoner. And obviously, you consider Ina as a political prisoner. Pero sabi ni DILG Sec Jonathan Malaya, no such thing as political prisoner. Wala naman daw batas against someone who has an opposite political view. Ang crime daw ni Ina is illegal possession of firearms and explosives. And he said that is just a simple fact.
Alam mo, yan yung naratibo nila eh. Yan yung narrative na gustong palabasin ng gobyerno, na walang political prisoners. But in fact, yung mga political prisoners na tinatawag, yung mga dissenters, mga aktivista, na nagpapahayag ng mga saloobin nila sa gobyerno, na kumukontra dun sa mga anti-people policies nila. And hindi nila matanggap na may mga taong mga political prisoners na tinatawag, and they are filing trumped up criminal charges, no? Hindi nila sinasampahan ng rebellion kasi rebellion is kumbaga medyo may dangal pa yung kaso na yun eh, kasi kumbaga may politika pa eh. So what they do is they file trumped up criminal charges like arson, murder, illegal possession of firearms and explosives, precisely because they want to demonize activism, no? They want to make it look na mga common criminals yung mga aktivista, and they will invent all sorts of stories, they will plant all sorts of evidence para ipin down yung mga aktivista sa mga non-bailable charges so that they would spend the rest of their lives behind bars. Ganon ang ginagawa nila, no? Modus operandi nila to even before this case happened, no? Bago kay Ina, yung asawa ni ni Fides, si Vic Ladlad had the same experience at marami pang iba.
I'll pick up on that. You said modus ng mga pulis ito. So what makes you say na modus ito? Does it happen so often? Kaya nyo sinasabi na modus
It's so often.
Does,
Talagang
does forensic evidence show na parang may pattern or and then of course and then siguro if you can also recount paano nangyari ito kay Ina? How did she end up in jail? I know this nung ni-raid yung headquarters ng Kadamay, I think sa Tondo, sa night na ni-raid din yung ibang mga aktivista, if I'm not mistaken, sa Bacolod. So give us a background nga.
Alam mo, Barnes, hindi na maluloko ng gobyerno yung mga tao eh. Alam mo, kahit hindi sa mga aktivista, sa mga simpleng mamamayan, lalo na doon sa pakanang war on drugs, again, it's no secret na mahilig silang magtanim ng mga baril, ng ebidensya, para sabihin na ng laban, para sabihin na may ma-file na kaso, at ma-absuelto sila, talagang to get away with things scot-free. Ganun ang ginagawa ng gobyerno. Pero specifically sa mga aktivista, what they do is, yung una nilang modus before, sinisingit nila sa mga, pinapa-amend nila yung mga warrant of arrest to include people, for example, like me, dun sa mga pinakana nilang may encounter daw between AFP and NPA sa ganitong probinsya, sa Agusan del Sur. So what they do is they ask the courts to amend the warrant of arrest to include names of activists na nandito sa Metro Manila, for example. So kita mong trumped up. Pero alam mo, na-realize nila during the course of the trial na hindi nila mapanindigan yung ganong klaseng kwento sa court eh. Kasi wala silang witnesses. So nahahalatang nag-imbento sila ng kaso, nahahalatang sinisingit lang nila yung mga pangalan ng mga activists sa mga warrant of arrest. So they made a new device, para ma-pin down yung mga aktivista, and this is through the application of search warrants sa korte. So what they do now is, gaya dun sa kaso ni Ina, tama ka, noong October and November 2015, 2019, halos magkakasunod na insidente ng raid sa Negros, wherein 57 individuals were raided sa iba-ibang opisina doon at mga bahay. And then they also planted firearms and explosives. And then dito sa Manila, noong November 5, and October 31 din, ni-raid nga yung opisina kung nandun si Ina Nasino and another house ng dalawang mag-asawang aktivista. So talaga siyang ginagamit ng authorities yung mga korte to procure these search warrants. So ganun yung nangyari. So to cure the defect ng mga trump-up charges nila na kunyari kasama sa alleged encounter yung mga aktivista, meron silang naisip na bago. That is to manufacture search warrants and then execute it doon sa mga pangalan na nakalagay sa search warrant at doon sila magtatanim ng firearms and explosives.
So sige po.
If you would ask, bakit firearms and explosives? Because it's very easy and convenient to plant firearms and explosives. Bakit? Sino ba ang may armas at granada? Di ba pulis at sundalo lang naman? So kukunin lang nila yon sa mga opisina nila, sa mga kampo nila at itatanim nila doon sa mga bahay ng mga aktivista. And that's what they are going to use against these activists para maging basis ng filing nila ng cases sa court. Ganon ang ginawa nila sa kaso ni Reyna May at ng mga kasamahan niya.
And then yung mga nahuli sa Negros, yung mga inaresto sa Negros, ganon din yung kaso nila?
Yes, same. Some were able to bail out kasi firearms lang, no? Kaya pag firearms lang ang kaso mo, pag illegal possession of firearms lang, bailable yon. So sa mga aktivista na tina-target nila, because tingin nila high profile or for whatever reason, sinasamahan nila ng explosive. So nakapackage yan, may granada at saka may firearms para maging non-bailable in nature yung kaso at hindi makapagpiyansa yung mga aktivista gaya ni Reyna May at ng mga kasamahan niya. So talagang talamak yan. Grabe yung ganyan ang ginagawa nila. And the thing is, wala silang witness na kailangan. Sila lang mga arresting officers kasi sila lang yung nandun sa incident sa venue kung saan nangyari yung search. So si Police Officer 1 would testify, i-corroborate niya yung statement ni Police Officer 2 saying na, oo nga, nandun ako, nakita ko, na-recover yung granada na yan. Kahit yung granada na yon, sinasabi na na-recover nila sa lamesa sa kusina. Alam mo yon, yung mga unlikely places na, ba't ako magtatago ng granada sa lamesa, di ba? Ba't ako maglalagay ng baril na M16 sa hamper ko, sa kwarto ko? So talagang, hindi ka paniwala at alam mong gawa-gawa yung mga kaso.
Ms. Fides, sa tingin nyo ba tinarget si Ina Or sa tingin nyo nadamay lang siya? Parang meron kasi ako nadinig, and I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, meron ako nadinig na parang nakitulog lang siya that night doon sa office ng kadamay sa Tondo.
Yeah, that's right, no? Ito ngayon ang para makita, no? Sino talaga ang nagsasabi ng totoo. Okay, sasabihin ngayon, at saka wait, I just have to say this, you know, it's very striking to me. Why is the DILG, the USEX, all of a sudden talking? Hindi ba? Hindi, akala ko BJMP operation ito. Ngayon, suddenly, you have these undersecretaries talking. Why? Is their secretary directly involved in the whole operation? It's food for thought, di ba? Okay, let's name him, no? Si General Anyo, no? His hands are not clean. The least to say about yung Jonas Burgos disappearance case. Ngayon, about your question, going back to that, high profile ba? High risk ba si Reyna May Nasino? If yes, bakit ang pangalan niya wala sa search warrant? Okay? O, isn't that striking? Tapos, ito pa, she is a student activist, no, from IRIS, no? It's a very good school, not so known, no? Very bright. It's a government school just like UP and PUP, no? Bakit nag-aaktivista itong mga batang to? Okay? Pag-aralan natin, high risk, high security, organizer, tapos student activist pumunta sa kadamay para mag-organize. Ito ba ang high risk na sinasabi nitong mga BJMP? Tsaka look, no? I never met this Mr. Solda, but I have met some BJMP people, and they have told me, no, of course, I will not name names. I respect their, syempre, no, kasi kausap namin sila, no, they are all aghast at what is happening, no. Kaya ngayon, mayroong ang magsasabi sa amin, no, na pasensya na lang, ma'am, kailangan kami sumunod. Saan ka makakakita ng ganyan? Something is very wrong with this entire system.
Ang sinasabi nila, nagre-react lang naman daw sila because you were the ones and your allies daw in the left, quote unquote, that wanted to make a scene and wanted to make a media spectacle out of the events.
Okay, look, kami ba ang nagsabi, ito lang ha, I just want to make this a fact. Ako ba ang kumontak halimbawa sa international media para kausapin ako? No. I was surprised that BBC asked for an interview. Okay, that's when I felt that something big is going on because people were telling me, nagtatap sa Twitter feeds itong Free Reyna May Nasino at saka Justice for Baby River. Okay? Ngayon, sasabihin nila, left. Bakit? Anong masama sa left? Mas maraming masama sa pagiging right. Okay? Alam natin ito pag nag-iisip tayo, no? Kaya nakakaawa ang mga ikaw, you know, it's a big insult pag sinabi, ay, ikaw, kanan ka eh. Kaya ibig sabihin, mahina ka, hindi ka nag-iisip, in fact, bobo ka. Okay, mag-isip tayo. Bakit tayo merong minimum wage? Bakit tayo merong right to vote for women? There was nothing like this before. It was these leftist groups which gave this to us. Okay, bakit sa Philippine Constitution maraming mga proscriptions laban at saka para sa protection ng human rights? This is a product of leftist activism because the right wing, like the people, like Mr. Solda, I have not seen him. I would like to talk to him. I would like to at least have put mercy in his heart. Tapos yung DILG, yan. Okay, ito pa. I need to say this, no? Sino ba ang political prisoners? Okay, just 1 second of Philippine history and just one name, Jose Rizal, nag-aktivista. Anong nangyari? Pinatay sa Bagong Bayan, sa Luneta. Do I need to cite more names? Amado V. Hernandez, 1950s. From him developed the case of rebellion complex. Do I need to say more? These are leftists. They are even accused of being communists. These are the people that you read tag from history.
Sabi nga po nila, Attorney Sol, na kung buhay daw po si Jesus dito ngayon sa panahon natin, he would be red tagged and he would be tagged as an activist, as a leftist. So parang parang napaka-importante lang I think if you can just differentiate between an activist and an armed rebel, kasi I think ngayon parang na maraming tao ang akala nila iisa lang yung armed rebel tsaka iisa lang yung aktivista, na kung aktivista ka, armed rebel ka. Pero hindi ganon, hindi po ba?
Alam mo, simple lang yun eh. Kaya nga New People's Army kasi armed, may armas. Ngayon kung wala kang armas, hindi ka NPA. Kung nandito ka sa kalunsuran, nagrarally ka, nag-a-assert ka ng civil and political rights mo, aktivista ka at karapatan mo yun at hindi mo kailangan maging aktivista para isigaw mo yung mga karapatan na yun. Yung mga magbabalot na sumisigaw ng karapatan nila, yung mga mahihirap na sumisigaw ng karapatan nila sa maayos na pabahay, maayos na public services, karapatan nila yun, no? Yan ang problema sa gobyerno no? Lahat ng bagay na karapatan natin na supposedly dapat binibigay nila sa atin voluntarily dahil obligasyon nila yon, ay kailangan nating i-assert Hindi yun binibigay sa atin ng silver platter. Kailangan pa nating ipagpatayan, kailangan nating ipaglaban, at oftentimes yung mga nakikipaglaban nito, ang ending nila at the minimum ay kagaya ni Reyna May or sa maximum gaya ni Zara Alvarez na pinatay ng Estado. Ganon ang ganon ang pattern ng Estado. Kaya mahirap yung kalagayan ngayon ng hindi lang ng mga aktivista at ng mga Pilipino na lalo ngayon papatindi yung atake dahil din dun sa mga batas na ipinapasa, no? Kaya ganun kailangan ng resistance more from the people dahil gaya nga nung sabi ko, yung mga karapatan natin hindi yan binigay sa atin ng kusang loob at gumising tayo na may karapatan na tayong ganito. Lahat yun pinaglaban ng matindi ng mga aktivistang nauna pa sa atin.
Take us through yung pag-file ninyo ng petition, so nung nanganak na before pa manganak si Reyna May rather, na nalaman ninyo na buntis siya, and of course you knew when she was going to give birth, so nag-file na kayo ng petition, and then nagkaroon ng coronavirus crisis, nagkaroon ng mga lockdowns, and so nag-file kayo ng petition, to free hindi lang si Ina and 21 other political prisoners on humanitarian grounds. Take us through that process, yung na-deny and then nag-apply naman kayo ng furlough, tapos nag-apply kayo ulit ng furlough, tapos ginrant, tapos nag-appeal yung BJMP Manila na from 3 days naging 6 hours.
6 hours.
Parang napaka-roller coaster. And ganun ba yung inasahan ninyo considering the fact na ang dami naman pinayagan na mag-furlough para mag-dental check-up, para umattend ng kasal, para bisitahin yung may sakit sa ospital na ama, na anak. So I guess, may precedent naman, hindi po ba?
Alam mo, sa gobyernong to, wala akong expectation So talagang, I always expect them to be the monstrous government that they are. The Duterte government. Wala akong in-expect na gagawin nilang mabuti. Lalo na sa mga kagaya namin na mga human rights workers, mga aktivista at mga simpleng mamamayan. Kasi it exposed itself na ito ay, gaya ng sinasabi mo, double standards. Ang problema ni Ina kasi nasino ang apelyido niya Hindi naman siya Reyna May Revilla o Reyna May Arroyo o Reyna May Marcos, di ba? O Reyna May Enrile. Isa siyang nasino, isa siyang simpleng mamamayan. Yan ang problema sa bansang to kapag maliit kang tao, wala kang karapatan, no? So gaya ng sinabi mo, nung nanganak si Reyna May nung July 1, nag-file kami sa korte ng motion para ma-admit siya sa ospital or doon sa loob ng BJMP para mapa-breastfeed niya exclusively si baby for 12 months. Dinena yun nung nakakalungkot, babae yung judge, no? Babae at I assume na may pamilya din at may anak din. We filed for a motion for reconsideration, ganun pa rin yung decision niya, dinenay niya pa rin. So hanggang sa huli, yung furlough ganun din, ano, nung namatay na si Baby River, during the last hours ni baby, nag-file kami ng manifestation na parang payagan nyo naman kasi mamamatay na yung bata eh. Kasi sineparate nyo sa kanya, wala pang 1 month and nagbibuild pa lang siya ng immunity niya from the breast milk of her mother. Pero forcibly, tinanggal siya dun sa kanyang ina. Kaya malamang humina yung kanyang immunity, ano. Isa rin yun sa mga naging dahilan. Pero hindi kami pinakinggan hanggang sa kahuli-hulihan. So naging masaya kami nung nag-apply kami ng petition na maka-attention ng furlough kasi I think it was again, yung isa sa mga mahahabang oras na binigay sa isang political prisoners, yung 3 days continuous furlough. Kaya masaya kami. Pero alam mo, ilang oras pa lang ang lumilipas, talagang mga mga evil na mga tao. Nag-file yung BJMP ng opposition saying nga na wala silang personnel. So dun sa court talagang, alam mo, I've never had a court hearing in my life na umiyak ako, na nagbebeg ako sa court. May iyak na naman ako, di ba? Parang naglulumuhod ka na bigay sa'yo yung karapatan mo. Ganun yung feeling namin. 3 abogado kaming nag-argue noon. And pati yung co-counsels ko, grabe yung hindi namin matake kasi yung mga kaharap namin, yung lawyer ng BJMP is a woman. Yung mga kasamahan niyang nandun sa korte are women. Parang, bakit tayo nag-uusap ng dapat bang umattend ng burol yung isang ina? Bakit tayo nagtatalo? Di ba dapat binibigay yun sa kanya? Pero wala, hanggang huli, pinagkait nila sa amin yun. And hanggang nung week, ginulo nila yung week, gusto nilang kunin si Reyna May. Kaya siguro yun yung, ewan ko, talagang, siguro kung merong itsura ng malalang inhustisya, ito na yung sasabihin ko na yung pambababoy ng gobyerno sa pamilya na sino, ito na yung isa sa mga pinakamalalang nakita kong manifestation ng inhustisya sa bansang ito.
Ms. Fides, on the other hand, sinasabi ng mga iba, what's so special about Ina? Bakit nyo siya hinihingan ng special treatment? Special treatment nga ba yung hinihingi ninyo?
No. We have already said this. Ang problem namin, it's because we are political prisoners. That alone already marks us as enemies. Bakit? Sino ba kaaway dito? Pati baby? Yun lang naman ang tanong namin eh. Bakit? Armado ba itong si Reyna May? O kahit armado siya or whatever she is. Ibig ba sabihin, wala na siyang any kind? Bakit? Hindi na siya tao? Yun lang eh. You know what we are talking about here actually? Pagiging tao, pagiging humane. Yun lang. Some kind of compassion. A little mercy. Hindi ba? No one expected what happened, no? Kaya ngayon, why are they all out, no? You have undersecretaries, you have the BJMP spokesperson. Bakit? Sino kaaway nila? A little baby, 3 months old. Ito ba ang kanilang kaaway? They were the ones who made the spectacle of themselves. Binihisan nila si Reyna May from head to toe, okay? Tapos pati yung kanyang sapatos nakabalot ng protector. Tapos ginapos nila yung kamay. Bakit? Hindi ba siya tao? Hindi niya mahagkan yung coffee ng kanyang sariling anak? You know, it's a question which should be asked of government eh. Bakit? Sino kaaway nyo? Simpleng tao?
Lang po kayo, no, Miss Fides, your heart, I don't know, bilang isang ninang, your heart must have broken so many times during the course of all the court hearings and pleadings through the Supreme Court and the lower courts.
Yeah, it's difficult, but we have just to plug on. Kaya nga sinasabi ko sa mamamayan, alam nyo, huwag nyo tingnan kami nakakaiba sa inyo. Ang pagkakaiba lang natin, may mga tumatayo para sa kanilang paniniwala na makakatulong din sa inyo. Hindi lahat tayo, no, pwedeng yung face mask na suot-suot natin, hindi ibig sabihin tinanggalan na tayo ng dila o ng karapatang tumayo para sa ating sariling paniniwala at paninindigan. Ito ang mga aktivista. Ito si Reyna May Nasino. Ngayon, but ang problema, innocents suffer like what happened to her baby. No one wants this. We only wanted 3 hours yesterday of peaceful burial. Even that was denied to her own family, to Reyna May herself, and to all her supporters, friends. And you know, this is what is very strange. To all the people in the Philippines at saka sa ibang bansa, no, na yumakap na sa ganitong issue at saka kay Baby River.
Attorney
sila. Ngayon ito sasabihin ko, talo sila. Bakit? Kasi ang pikon talo.
Attorney Sol, red tagging, of course, it's not a new phenomenon naman. Dati pa naman may mga nare-red tag talaga. But during the time of Duterte, how much more difficult is it to be red tagged? How much more dangerous is it to be red tagged?
Alam mo yung Duterte government, konting kimbot mo lang, magreklamo ka lang sa Dolomite, questionin mo lang yung mga pondo kung saan napupunta, questionin mo lang yung buwis na binabayad mo saan napupunta, ire-red tag ka kagad eh. Basta may sabihin ka lang na kritiko, ire-red tag ka dyan for sure. Kahit nga si Lisa Soberano na walang nagsalita lang sa women's rights, red tag na, 'di ba? So lahat talaga, kahit yung simpleng mga mamamayan, yun yung gagawin. And red tagging is not simply red tagging, Barnes. It leads to death. No? It leads to death of Zara Alvarez, of Randall Enchanis, of many of our colleagues, of many of the human rights defenders here in the Philippines. At nag-lead na rin to sa maraming pag-aresto, pagdukot. Hindi siya simpleng red tagging eh. Sa totoo lang, kung kahit ano mang itag mo, red, blue, yellow, white, supposedly wala namang problema eh. Kaya lang yung red tagging may kaakibat talaga na na pag-violate ng rights ng maraming tao. Kaya sobrang dangerous niya na gawin sa panahon na to. Na alam mong yung Duterte government ay may resources, nasa kanya yung makinarya, nasa kanya yung mga pulis, nasa kanya yung law enforcement, nasa kanya yung mga korte. Anong laban ng mga mamamayan? Walang laban yung mga mamamayan kundi magkaisa lang eh, di ba?
So yung nakita natin nung Wednesday, yung nakita natin yesterday, Friday, na show of force ng PNP at saka ng BJMP, what do you think is the message that the government is sending?
Na wala tayong karapatan, na sila ang kapangyarihan, na sila ang masusunod sa mga buhay natin mula panganak tayo hanggang kamatayan natin. Kung paano tayo mabubuhay, kung paano tayo mamamatay, kung paano tayo ililibing. Yan yung tumatak sa akin eh. Nung buong panahon na nakikipaglaban kami sa konting oras na para ibigay dun sa kliyente namin para makasama niya yung anak niya. Parang kayo ang magpapasya hanggang sa huli kung paano namin ililibing yung kaanak namin. Parang demonyo lang ang gagawa nun, Bars. I'm sorry, I can't find the right words eh. Talagang sobrang evil and monster yung gagawa ng mga ganitong klaseng bagay. At ito yung dapat nating labanan dahil kung meron pang natitirang panahon sa gobyernong to, hindi ko na alam kung ano pa yung kaya nilang gawin.
So Ms. Fides, you don't buy the government's saying na, well, we are just implementing the court order and we are just implementing the law. The law is the law, sabi nga nila.
No,
it may be harsh, but the law is the law.
No. Overkill. They have subverted the law. They should be the ones in jail.
Okay, final question because we don't have time anymore. Attorney Sol, I know that you have to go. You have another interview. So I'd like to take a question from a column from the Inquirer today. And it's a column that was written by Dr. Gideon Lasco. And I'm not going to get into the details of the column because the title itself is already a question that I think you might want to answer. He asks in his column, who killed Baby River? Because we all know that Baby River, of course, medically, he died of pneumonia. Pero sinasabi niya, hindi ganun kasimple. So I'll give both of you a chance to answer that question.
Alam mo, yung para sagutin yung who killed Baby River, una sa lahat, hindi mamamatay si Baby River kung hindi nilagay sa kulungan yung nanay niya at nabigyan ng proper prenatal care. So, to say it straight, it's the Duterte government who killed Baby River. And the institutions, especially the NTF-ELCAC, na patuloy na nagta-target sa mga aktivista na gaya ni Reyna May. It's the courts who issued malicious search warrants against activists that caused the arrest and detention of Reyna May since November 5, 2019. Isa itong malaking sabwatan ng isang bulok na sistema na ngayon ay pinaghaharian ng gobyerno ni Duterte. Sila ang pumatay kay Baby River.
Fides?
The question is easily answered by the actions of the people who subverted the whole burial, who did not even allow the family to come close to Reyna May Nasino. Tingnan nyo, lahat ng pictures, check nyo yung kapatid page ngayon, no? Tingnan nyo, no? Sila ang malaking kahihiyan para sa kanilang sarili. Bakit? Tingnan nyo, who are the people all throughout, no? That funeral na katabi ni Reyna May. Andun ba ang pamilya? Hindi ba? Alam mo, sagutin nila ang kanilang sariling mga batikos sa amin kasi babalik sa kanila, and they know very well na merong ng public opinion against them. Kaya alam nyo, sa akin lang, from yung nababasa ko, tapos yung mga lumalapit sa amin, kahit yung kanilang sariling mga sundalo at kapulisan, malaki ang problema nila. They are now on the defensive.
Okay. I'm sorry. Just one final question, and I hope you can accommodate this one final question, Attorney Sol. Yung next steps nyo lang, ano yung gagawin ninyo? Kasi meron statement si Attorney Eulalia na possibly kakasuhan daw yung BJMP, pero hindi pa naman daw sigurado this is something that you are discussing?
Yes. Syempre, sa mga nangyari kahapon, yung mga kawalang hiya na nangyari kahapon, we realize na talagang hindi mo dapat to palagpasin yung mga ganito eh. Isa tong malinaw na pangsasalaula dun sa karapatan ng pamilya Nasino at dun sa matahimik na paghihimlay sana kay Baby River. So, we are currently in the process of drafting the cases that will be filed against the people who are responsible for the event na nangyari no October 14 and yesterday. Definitely may mga mananagot dito.
Okay, and of course you'll continue to, I assume that you'll continue to fight for the freedom of Ina Nasino as well as the other.
Yeah, and we are asking also na suportahan ng publiko yung panawagan namin sa Court of Appeals because they still have a pending petition for certiorari. We filed this because kine-question namin yung dismissal ng lower courts ng RTC Manila when we filed the motion to quash search warrant and suppress the illegally obtained evidence. Dinenay nila to nung korte, kaya inakyat namin sa Court of Appeals. Tulungan kaming manawagan sa Court of Appeals na tuluyan ng mapalaya si Reyna May sa pamamagitan ng pag-grant dun sa petition for certiorari namin. At mabigyan naman, the least that they can do is to dismiss the case para mabigyan ng hustisya kahit papaano yung pagkamatay ni Baby River.
Any final words, Ms. Fides? Maybe final words coming from Ina. I don't know how substantial you were able to, to speak with her.
Yeah. It's very good that you asked, no? Kasi gusto ko magtapos din ako sa kapatid dun sa mismong sariling bigkas ni Ina, no? Ito sinabi niya noong nasa wake, no? Marami kang alaala sa akin. Yung handcuffs niya nakapatong dun sa coffee ng kanyang anak. Tapos sinabi niya, lalaya ako ng mas matatag. Sabi niya, lalaya kami ng mas matatag. Hindi tayo dito nag-iisa. Panandalian ang pagdadalamhati natin. Pero maghahanda tayo sa pagbalik natin. Babangon tayo.
Okay. So, fighting words, Fighting words from Ina Nasino. And I think on that note, we're going to end this program. I'm sure you have a lot more to say, but I'm sure that this issue will not go away. Even in the coming weeks and probably in the coming months because the case is ongoing. So thank you so much for joining
Thank you.
us. Bernice
Salamat,
So
Barnes.
Thanks, Barnes.
And-
Saka maraming salamat sa lahat.
and Ms. Fides
Salamat.
Lim of Kapatid. Of course, thank you so much to our viewers on Facebook for joining us on this episode of Viewpoint. Do catch us live every Saturday at 6 in the evening. Again, my name is Barnaby Lowe. This is Viewpoint. Now you know.